the whole squad gets cray-cray. Where one more episode means all the rest of the episodes. Where we...
We're streaming, so Frankie can hear you.
Are we not putting the TV up?
No, it messes with the audio.
Do you want me to turn on the...
You want to run it under your shirt? And then out the... It just looks super noticeable.
Yeah. I know I don't want me to turn it on.
You can turn it on. I'm asking them if they can hear everybody. You know, you should be talking.
I'll
What's up, Franklin?
see you. I'll do those banners are sick.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see you yet.
Super cool. Can you guys, Franklin?
Checo. There's echo on me. Do we have, is there a mic on anywhere else?
I think it might just be the room. Sounds a little echoey to me too.
Check, check, check. Check, echo. Is there a mic on this laptop?
Yeah. But if we mute the laptop, Frankie won't be able to hear you, I don't think.
Dude, that new night looks so cool.
Yeah, it does.
Sorastus.
Can he still hear you?
Frankie, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Frankie?
You can't, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Hold on.
Frankie, check, 1, 2, 3.
Try turning off your alarm.
Check, 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 check.
Okay, now let's see what we can do.
Check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Take that as a negative. So they're hearing me on Frankie's end. right? If there's a mic on the.
They should be hearing me, or hearing you on my end. Because I have headphones in.
So you guys can hear me in the chat now. How's the sound quality? Is there what?
No more
You're seeing loud and clear, no echo now.
Okay.
I'm seeing you go on OBS and everything else. So we're just running the audio through Skype and the lab is.
So that's it. The lab.
We're not using the lab at all right now.
So I can take this off. I'll leave it. It's all right. Cool. Can you order a Tidewall Rampart from us, T6 Ted? Frankie is the man to answer that question.
Yeah, you can once it's up on GW's website. It's not up there yet.
A lot of people are worried it's going to sell out because Terrain tends to do that with GW.
Like the void shield generator.
Yeah, I don't. This looks like it's a plastic kit, so I don't think anybody needs to worry about it too much.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll be creating plenty of them. They might not get it on the initial launch, but
yeah, I know. I'm still waiting.
As long as you get your order in, like as soon as it's up on GW's website,
you should be good.
Just make sure you email me at orders@frontlinegaming.org.
Yeah, and you'll get an extra 5% off of our price, which should be 25% off. I'm still waiting for the Vols Wrath support batteries to come back in stock. So he's been out of stock since the Eldar Codex dropped.
I know.
Because I want to run the Guardian Battle Host.
How many batteries is that?
Well, you need you need 1 unit of the artillery, the big ones. But I want to get a unit of 3 with the D cannon. But they're out. They don't have any.
Yeah, Grant's running a list like that.
It'd be really good with Footguard because they automatically get 6-inch battle focus.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to run the Guardian Battle Host, the Dire Avenger Shrine, and then the Aspect Shrine. It's 101 models, and everybody automatically battle focuses 6 inches. I was like, that would not be bad. I got my boy the Avatar in there too because I refuse to give up on him, even though he's terrible. Oh, Frankie, I got my Warp Spiders and my Swooping Hawks.
Oh, you did? You just shipped them out?
Yeah, Tyson shipped them. They look really good, and I'm going to feel so dirty putting 20 Warp Spiders on the table.
Warp Spiders are so stupid.
They're so ridiculously good. I'm never going to give up on that Avatar. I just can't quit you, Avatar. You complete me.
He's such a cool model.
He's my favorite model that I own. The big Forge World one, chucking this giant flaming spear of death. He's just terrible.
Yeah, he's such a good guy.
Stampeder, I have Swooping Hawks and I have my Warp Spiders. And they're all painted up, ready to rock and roll. It's going to be, they're pretty much going to carry the army. It could be the throbbing flaming spear, yes. That's why you use protection, folks.
It burns like an IP.
Yeah, if they would have made the Avatar a gargantuan creature, good, he'd be amazing.
Nova Star. If that Tau terrain sells really well, of course they're gonna make more.
Well, it looks like it's plastic, right? Like yeah. I don't think it's going to be an issue. They may, like Frankie said, they may stock out, but
yeah.
You know they'll continue to resupply them eventually.
Oh, Sauce. This is the most dirty podcast, you know. I listen to Life After the Cover Stage.
That was an innuendo, Hot Sauce. That was not explicit. That was a dirty joke, my friend. You got to be smart to get it. So,
What
Hot
class is
Sauce,
okay?
you passed the test, buddy.
Hot Sauce, go back to Santa Cruz. Go hang out with your people.
10:52.
Hot Sauce is a banana slug, bro.
He licks those banana slugs.
I mean, that's the mighty banana slugs of Santa Cruz.
Such a tough name. I wish. What if they were like a D1 football team? That'd be so cool.
Yeah, no.
And here come the banana slugs.
They're too busy catching tasty waves and partaking of the herbal entertainment, I guess is how you would say it.
You built it up and you dropped it.
It's Santa Cruz. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's a multi-set?
Yeah, it's like a fortification network.
Damn, they're gonna make so much money off that. So much money.
People have been waiting for this forever.
Heck yeah. Did you hear the rumors that Tyranids might be next?
There's a lot. There's people saying Chaos might be next, Tyranids, Zinch Demon Can. There's a lot of rumors floating around.
I think Dark Eldar's next. I'm starting that rumor.
Yeah.
So I'll feel better.
PJ Pants, you call your banana a slug. Good. Good.
Hot Sauce, you guys voted your basketball team out. What the fuck?
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it is Chaos next. Alan, I agree with you. Dark Eldar now ignore Flames and Overwatch, and all of a sudden they're good.
No, they're still not good for that. To be honest, I was actually thinking about it. I really don't know how you would fix that codex.
I'm gonna make an army that's pure Dark Eldar, and my goal will be just to win more games than I lose, and I'd be happy.
Best of luck.
Good morning, John Bingham.
Oh wait, no, I know how they could fix it. All poison weapons also have Haywire. Boom.
They're also rending.
There you go. Now you're God mode.
I'm gonna take a witch cult. If I can win one game, I'll call it a victory.
That would be amazing.
They're so bad. Oh my
Can you imagine the one guy that you beat though? He's like, I painted this guy when I was like 3 years old.
The guy jumps in front of a bus.
Oh no.
He commits seppuku. He's like, honorable suicide is the only answer now.
Oh, PJ Fans.
It's slow and steady and gets slimy in the end. Nice.
That's disgusting.
Mandrakes, I think, are actually good. Zenith Slav's like no joke. I think they're actually a really good backfield unit.
No.
To go disrupt the enemy backfield?
No. All the enemy backfield has to do is get them in combat. Mandrake's like,
Bro, they're strength 4. All right.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
They have 2 straight 4 shots at 12-inch range or something like that.
They're assault, and then they come in, they finish you off with their strength 4 and no armor.
They build you up, and then they let you beat them up.
Yeah, Dark Eldar is the weakest single codex in the game. I think Flyer Spam and the Corpse Thief Claw are like pretty much the only thing they got going for them.
Yeah. But the Corpse Thief is so much better played with Eldar.
Yeah, the best part of Dark Eldar is the Eldar part. I wonder if you could mix in some Harlequins and make it work.
Well, the Harlequins can't take like any other detachment but their own.
Hot Sauce, man, get out of here with your cockamamie schemes. Incubi are the gem of the codex.
That's why Scourges are so expensive.
Scourges are okay because they get mobile haywire. They actually serve a function.
Yeah, but they're so easy to kill. They have a 4-up save.
They have a 6-up invul, bro.
Oh, snap. Watch out. Overpowered.
John Bingham, I'm glad you enjoy the bullshitting before the show starts.
You know what's funny is that was probably like GW's like, they were like, oh yeah, these guys are going to be really good because we're going to give them a 6-up invo save. Oh.
A 6-up invo. You can't count that out. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, guys.
You know what I'm saying?
I played Jeff yesterday. He made
Yeah.
so many 6-up feel no pains. I was
That's so
like,
much fun.
what in the world?
Did you beat him, or is he still beating you?
No, I beat him.
Oh, you finally oh no, you beat him twice, huh?
Yeah, it's my second win.
Out of what, six games?
Out of 5.
Five.
2 for 3. Or 2 and 3. His army's so good.
Yeah, dude, the war convocation is ridiculous. As tier 1, mega tier 1 list.
Yeah.
Zenislav, no, witches did not keep their haywire, even though swooping hawks all get haywire grenades and they're faster. They're barely any more expensive. They can deep strike without scattering. They have ignores cover large blast. They move 18 inches. Like, what
They
the
hit
F?
flyers.
Yeah, you can hit flyers with melee. And like when you add in the cost of the melt bomb onto a witch, the swooping hawk is barely more expensive and infinitely better.
Yeah. One witch and the entire unit can take a haywire grenade.
Yeah, it's such a joke.
And I think it's on the sergeant, so
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
yeah. So she can get targeted by challenges.
No, witches are arguably the worst unit in the game. They're so bad. Warriors are really good. Warriors are the gem of that codex.
Yeah. They lowered the points on warriors.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, but they're still not that great.
I think they're a pretty solid troop. Like Warriors and Raiders and Venoms, like you can get work done with that. That's like I think one of the best units in there, and the Razor Wing is awesome. Is a
5-up
really
just kills them.
The 5 armor save on them? Yeah, that's pretty tough. But I think for the points, though, I think it's pretty fair. It is shitty when you get mowed down by bolter fire. As an Imperial Guard player, I feel your pain.
Like, here's a bolter. No.
Oh my god, no!
They're so scary.
Okay, we're getting ready to... Mama made me mash my M&Ms.
Doesn't even make sense.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your every Monday and Friday videocast live on Twitch, on YouTube, and also an audio version on iTunes. Find us at Signals from the Frontline. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Reese, and with us across the interwebs, my co-host, Franklin Giampapa.
What's up, everybody?
And no, Franklin is not a Revenant Titan. He is just a disembodied voice, so you will hear him but not see his lovely face. Frankie, how is Northern California?
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
It's been good to see the fam and catch up with everybody?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. Hung out with In Control Robinson, Tasty Taste, the old Raw Dog. It's been a nice trip. Got the wedding this weekend, then I'll be back on Monday.
Sounds good, man. We miss you. It'll be good to have you back. So I heard that you guys played with the new Storm Surge. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I played against the Storm Surge with my White Scars Battle Company.
Mm-hmm.
It was Paul McClevely. He's won quite a few events. He won the ITC last year. Very good player, and I was able to actually take it down pretty quick. Paul was really rolling poorly. It was unfortunate, but it was cool to see the Ghost Kill on the table.
Did you guys try the Ghost Kill and the Storm Surge, or was it just the Storm Surge?
Or not the Ghost Kill, sorry, the Storm Surge.
Right
it was cool seeing the Storm Surge on the table, seeing its damage output. Unfortunately, Paul was rolling really bad, so I didn't get to see like the full potential. I was able to kill it on turn 2, so...
Yeah. Well, your army has a gang load of Grav, which is probably the best way to kill that guy.
Yeah, I got first turn, and Paul was just failing every single save. He died, the Storm Surge died to Hammer of Wrath from Khan.
That's not normal.
That tells you exactly how that went. But there was another Storm Surge on Tuesday playing as well against a drop Scions list.
Yep.
And the Storm Surge was doing damage. It was just killing so much stuff. The Scions were take him down, though. So it's not like it's super overpowered, but I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited to see it on the tabletop.
Yeah, me too. We have one in the studio. Danny Aflihi is putting it together for us as we speak. And we will be, as soon as that codex drops, we're going to slap that bad boy on the table, and we're going to have the Ghost Kill, all the new goodies. Really excited to try it out. I'm very, very pumped about the new Tau. I think it's going to be, I mean, the new models have me so excited, but I'm really excited to see how they play. And we'll get to more of that in the rumor section. But I'm glad you're having fun, Bud, and getting some R&R up there in NorCal.
Okay.
And as always, speaking of Tau, we have our 25% off pre-order special going live right now. And the big release, the exciting release as we speak, is the Tau Ghost Kill, which is the Monstrous Creature Stealth Suit. Go ahead and get your order in to orders@frontlinegaming.org or call your order in to 888-781-5120, and you will get your new Ghost Kill 25% off. And that extra 5% off will trigger for your whole order, including any other Games Workshop items or other manufacturers such as Privateer Press, whatever the case may be, Infinity, whatever you want to get your hands on. So get those in. That sale runs through the end of today. And then tomorrow we will have a new one going for the new pre-order that you'll see live on Games Workshop's website. So there's been a lot of people asking also about getting the Tau terrain set. You can get that through us as soon as you see it on Games Workshop's website. We don't know when that's going to be, but as soon as you see it, send your order in, and Frankie and Jason will get you hooked up. Same goes for the Codex. So if you want to wait to get the Codex to see what you want to buy, no big deal. Go ahead and do that, and you can go ahead and save some dough. So get those orders in.
Word up.
Frankie, I got some exciting news. Our man with the inside track on Forge World, Secret Salmon, sent this to me, but it also went up on Forge World's website. There is indeed, I know, I love his nickname. I was like, you picked a winner. That's so funny.
Heck yeah.
But Imperial Armor 11, this Doom of Emeria, Volume 2 is on the way. For those of you who don't remember, that is Eldar versus Space Wolves and Snow Cadians. Really cool. But the most exciting part about this, not only that we're going to get updated rules for things like the Wraith Seer or the Eldar Skimmer with the D-Shot, the name eludes me. Not the Lynx, the one that's based on the one that's based on the Falcon chassis.
The Tiger.
I'm just
the Viper or whatever.
Yeah, I know it. It's the Wave, the Warp Hunter. That's it. We're getting updated rules for all of those units. The Warp Hunter, it's probably going to have a Barrage D weapon and a D Flamer with Torrent, which is going to be gnarly. You're going to see a lot of those. But the most exciting part about this book, not only is it a beautiful, awesome Forge World book with a cool story, we're going to get a completely new army list. The Eldar Corsairs is getting totally redone, and as we understand it, it's going to incorporate elements of Dark Eldar, Harlequins, but it's also going to have completely unique units like Corsair Princes, Corsair units of jump heavy weapons, and drop Eldar, like Guardians that are drop troops. So the Corsairs in the fluff are Eldar pirates. And this is really neat because now the Eldar kind of family of factions is going to have 4 sub-factions that you can draw from, and they can all be battle brothers with each other. So, I mean, that's like approaching Imperial kind of status in that you'll have Eldar, Craftworld, Dark Eldar, Harlequins, and now Corsairs, and you can blend all these up to make a truly unique army. I'm really excited. The Corsair models and rules that we had were very flavorful and really, really neat, and the models are gorgeous, and now they're going to get completely redone. Very excited to see what we get with this.
Heck yeah, those Corsairs are beautiful models, and I can't wait to see what they change in this book.
Yeah,
your big Revenant will be in there too, right?
My man, the Revenant, will probably be in it. I don't think they're going to update the rules. I could totally be wrong. But then we're also going to have the Cobra Super Heavy Tank. We're going to have, all of the fun goodies that Eldar get. I'm really excited to see the Wraiths here. I've wanted to get one of those models forever. And if the rules look cool, I'll definitely, I'll bite and I'll pick one up because I have all the Wraith. I have everything except the Phantom Titan, really. So it'd be cool to get another one of the Wraith units in there and spice up my army because they've had really cool powers in the past for the Wraiths here. And then for those you don't know, it's a Wraith Lord that is a Psyker. So very cool.
Yeah. He's really cool. He had like a D shot.
He had a D cannon, yeah. He used to come with the D barrage weapon on his shoulder, and he would have a strength 10 AP1 spear. But the other cool part about the Siege of Memoria is that you also get the 13th company for Space Wolves. And for those of you who are not familiar, they're like the werewolves. You get Bran Redmaw. He is a werewolf. He's a Space Marine, a Space Wolf werewolf. So very cool. Actually, you know what? Let me check that. I don't know if it's the 13th company, but it is Bran Redmaw's great company, and he does turn into a werewolf. So I'm sure people will correct me in the chat, because the 13th company is pretty much lost in the war, but I may be getting my wires crossed. But anyway, Space Wolves.
Model for him.
Yeah, it would be great to see Forge World release a character model for Bran Redmaw in werewolf mode. Going beast mode.
Going beast mode.
So yeah, be excited for that, and hopefully we'll see that coming out soon. We have some new Toughest Girls in the Galaxy models coming out. Sister Esperanza Espinosa and Sister Rosario Vasquez. So obviously nuns in space with guns theme going on, but per usual, they're absolutely gorgeous models. And I did finally get my Toughest Girls in the Galaxy Jailbirds models. Really stoked. They're amazingly good-looking models. I'm going to be putting them into my Catachan army, and they're basically female Catachans. But Frankie, what do you think about these nuns with guns in space that we've got coming for Toughest Girls?
These models are sick. I like the blindfolded one. It's like Daredevil.
You know, I got to point this out because it's too funny. Take a close look at the chest.
I know.
It's really chilly where she's standing.
It's cold. Or she uses those as eyes, maybe.
Yeah, it's a French company, you know. It's just it suits. But that aside, it's a really cool model. Definitely dig it.
They're both really sick.
Yeah, and they look great as Inquisition models and retinue. Really, really cool.
It looks like the top one's wearing like a thorn crown.
Yeah, and it looks like, I can't tell, like, are her knees, like are those her knees showing out? Like, what's going on?
No, I think those are like knee pads. Both of them have them.
I can't tell what's going on. Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Or their armor.
Boots? I don't know.
Their armor.
It's all good. Puppets will release some very cool new Flaming Skull alternate heads for 28mm models. And besides Ghost Rider, the first thing that pops in your mind is Legion of the Damned, right? You can slap these on some Space Marine bodies, and you've got some really, really cool Legion of the Damned models. I'm a big fan of the real Legion of the Damned models because they have bones and flames modeled onto their armor. But if you wanted to make your own kind of unique looking models, you could do this. Or if you wanted to just make a Space Marine chapter that has got all like a skeleton theme and they all have flaming skulls or chaos Marines, that'd be cool.
Oh my god. A whole bike army with flaming heads and then led by Doom Rider. That would be sick.
Led by Doom Rider, and his lieutenant is Johnny Blaze, aka Ghost Rider.
Dude,
that would be pretty badass, dude. I still have my Doom Rider model, and I've been saying I've had it for forever and ever, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna paint
that army.
Dude, the Ghost Rider army, that is pretty funny.
That would be sick.
So big news today. Forge World put up for pre-order a new Knight Cerastus, the Atropo, and this guy is pretty freaking cool. And as a part of the release, if you order, I think before November 12th or 14th, I can't remember the exact date, check their website, you'll get a Knight Scion, which is a pilot for the Knight for free. It's a really cool miniature. He reminds me of like Robot Jocks, that old crappy movie from the 90s, but the Knight Atropo himself is so sick. What do you think about it, Frankie?
Dude, it's amazing. I actually like the pilot more, to be honest. But the Knight's pretty sick.
So the pilot is cool, but like all the other Knight pilots that we've seen, they look like more of like a fleet admiral or something like that. Like this guy looks like he's like an athlete or so, you know what I mean? Like I expect this guy to he races robots in the arena for Budweiser or something like that. He also has he's a dope mustache.
Oh heck yeah, he's got a whole beard thing going on. He also doesn't miss any meals. He's packing some heat.
Yeah, he is, dude. That guy's got plenty of cushion for the pushing on this pilot. He is a hipster Knight pilot.
He is. He's got a monocle too.
Right?
He's definitely a hipster.
He carries around a typewriter to the coffee bar to type his poems. I actually dig it. But the Knight itself looks super cool. It's got like a retro future look to it. And the rules are really, really good for this thing. He weighs in at about 435 points, if I remember correctly. He's got a gravitation gun. It's the rules on this are a little wonky. They're a little wacky and wild. You guys know how we feel about that. Like on a 1, you take a whole point. On a 6, it's a D weapon. All right. Or it's a vortex weapon, I should say. But his other weapon is a close combat weapon that's strength D that can also shoot out to, I believe, 8 inches in strength D. So he's pretty freaking powerful. Plus, he has flanking speed, which is a run of 3d6 inches. And his ion shield has a flare special rule, which reduces weapons by 1 on their strength, or -2 on their strength if they're a template or blast weapon. So this guy is beefy, man. Like, he is really powerful.
Yeah, and it would look nice next to an AdMech army. Thanks.
He would go great in like a war convocation.
Yeah.
I dig it. I think it's good. Like the 1 in 6 times hurting yourself, that's kind of stupid, but whatever. 1 in 6 times, it's also a vortex weapon, which is, the vortex persists. It can float around. It's pretty crazy. So at least when you roll a 1, he still gets to shoot. You just hurt yourself. I can't live with that. Micro Art Studios releases some new Infinity terrain and templates, and I gotta say, I'm a really big fan. Micro Art Studios does very, very high quality terrain, bases, all that good stuff. The first piece is like a kiosk that you would see like in a mall, and it's got some Infinity themed art on it. I really dig it. Infinity is a game that really lends itself to going balls to the wall on the terrain, because you need a lot of terrain or the game's not very fun. And little pieces of drop terrain like this are kind of one of the signature marks of Infinity, and they really, really make the table come to life. Obviously, these would look great on the high-tech city 4x4 mat, which we made specifically for Infinity. And the other terrain are some high-tech cargo containers. Again,
those look sick.
They look dope. And cargo containers are so good for miniatures games because you can put them anywhere on the table. They block line of sight. You can stack them. And they really aesthetically fit in very well for a miniatures game. They're cool in pretty much any setting.
Yeah, those are cool. Microart's killing it with those. Those look sick.
Yeah, they do great work. And lastly, we've got the template set. Very cool. Infinity has multiple teardrops, like a big wide one and a narrow one. The big one, I think the gun you see,
Chain gun.
The chain gun, it literally shoots out a chain into an area of effect and just smokes people. It's really powerful.
I guess they nerfed it. It used to be super powerful.
Yeah.
They nerfed it down a little bit.
You know what's funny? Like, I first read about a chain gun in fiction, and William Gibson, the guy who wrote Neuromancer, which basically defined cyberpunk as we know it today, he wrote some follow-up books, and in one of them, a guy shoots a gun that fires a chain out. And I've got to think that's where they got the idea from for Infinity, because William Gibson is so influential in the cyberpunk genre, and Infinity is very much cyberpunk. So I thought that was pretty neat, kind of an homage to him. And maybe they got the idea from somewhere else, but I think that would make sense. More Infinity releases. Antonosity's Workshop releases some super cool science fiction civilian vehicles. These things are so dope. We have a police car. It's like a hover car. And then there's like this one's my favorite. It looks like a warthog from Halo. It's a 4-wheel drive, kind of a buggy. I really, really like the way this thing looks.
Yeah, these look sick.
And then third, we have like a performance Porsche from the future. It's dope.
These are really, really cool.
Yeah, I love these. The buggy especially is very inspiring to me. I like it a lot. I think that these are really neat miniatures. And again, in games like Infinity, I mean, you could easily use these in 40K too if you chose. But in Infinity, these really add a lot of depth, and they really immerse you in your tabletop. Yeah. Upcoming ITC events. All of these events are occurring this coming weekend. We've got Gamers Paradise October ITC event in Prairieville, Louisiana. We've got Ragnarok in Outland, Sorlentsenstruret, Norway. There's too many letters in that name. We've got the Warhammer 40K Singles ITC tournament in Vista, California, and we've got Jolt Games ITC tournament in Mitchell, in the Australian Capital Territory in Australia, all coming up this weekend. The Jolt Games ITC tournament in Australia is actually beginning in a couple hours. So I was talking to the TO earlier this morning. They're super excited. They want to send pictures of the event. Good luck to you guys. Good luck to everybody. And we really want to extend a special welcome to you guys down in Australia. Hope you have a great event. We look forward to seeing more ITC events in Australia, and also to you gentlemen in Norway at the Ragnarok tournament. Really, really cool to see an international crowd participating in the ITC.
Okay. It's growing.
It is. It's growing really rapidly. It's a ton of fun. We say it a lot, but it's just so flattering and cool to see it take off. And we look forward to growing it and making it even more exciting and special.
Yeah.
Rumors. The rumor section is gathered from the web and is not in any way information you receive from any manufacturer, nor is it necessarily accurate. This section of the podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. We have got some really cool, exciting rumors for you. Remember, take it with a grain of salt. Frankie, you brought it up earlier, but there are rumors that Tyranids are on deck for a revamped codex before the end of the year. That's very interesting if true. As a loving Tyranid enthusiast, I really hope this is true, because Codex Flyrant is pretty freaking dull right now. I play a ground-pounding Tyranid army. It's a struggle to make it work. I like the challenge, but the Codex is too mono-build. What do you think about this, Frankie?
Yeah, well, I've been hearing all sorts of things about this. So I've been hearing that they're going to be the new, like, psychic army, and they'll, like, control the psychic phase. I've also heard they're going to be releasing a big gargantuan creature, a lot like what, like, the Tau got, maybe the Dominatrix. And then, I mean, I've also been hearing things like Tyranids are probably one of their best sellers with their last release. They probably sold so many Flyrants and stuff that they just kind of want to boost up their sales, especially after Age of Sigmar, just to kind of bring the numbers back up.
Yeah, totally.
In Codex, they'd probably be pretty safe with boosting up their sales. Yeah. Because, I mean, with the last two Tyranid Codexes, I mean, they're selling a lot of Tyranid models, especially the last one with all the new ones. So I'm excited about it, especially if the rumors of the new Synapse are true, where they get Eternal Warrior and Fiona.
That was Photoshop. Wah.
Damn it.
You know,
That would have been cool.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of static on your Skype line, buddy. Sorry to interrupt you, but the rumor I've been hearing is that this is going to be a mini dex, like Cult Mechanicus. So it's going to be like a limited codex, but like you said, it's going to focus on psychic stuff. I got to question how many Maliceptors and Venom Toxicreens that they sold, because the rules on those things are awful. I mean, the Toxicreen, you can make a case for it. The Maliceptor is like witch status bad. So we'll see. Like if they change the definition of the Synapse rule, like you were saying, Frankie, I think that could help. It'd go miles to helping. And a mini dex for Tyranids would be really cool. I would love to get my hands on some new monsters. I mean, they're just cool models, right? Like the Toxicreen, as questionable as the rules are, it's a bitchin' model, right? So fingers crossed. Tyranids need a lot of help. They're good. They're a good army, but there's only one list you see, like a variation on, how many flyers do you have, and then what other units do you use to complement them. That's all you really see. So
yeah.
There's also rumors that the new plastic assassins that were in the box game are going to be released relatively soon as individual clan packs. Very cool.
Yeah, I heard about that too. That would be sick.
Yeah, I mean, those are
my
brilliant models. Yeah. Yes, and it did come in. It's sitting on your decks next to Coats and Goats, you dirty, dirty dog. Well, I'm sorry, next to your Inquisitor. They came in. You're cutting in and out there, buddy. Horus Heresy is rumored to be coming in November. The rumor date is November 7th and 14th. What we're hearing is that GW is getting promotional materials to their stores in preparation for that big release. So that'll be super exciting if we see Horus Heresy come out. The rumor is that there's going to be 3 tiers of games in GW's strategy. There's Age of Sigmar, which has free rules, simple. It's an introductory game to get kids in. And then you've got 40K, which is going to be the mass appeal game. And then you've got Horus Heresy, aka 30K, which is going to be the veteran level game. It's supposed to be the most complex game. We'll definitely see how that pans out.
Oh, that'll be cool. Can't wait to see the Horus Heresy models on the table.
Yeah, I mean, I just got done putting together all my, and I'm in the middle of painting all of my Horus Heresy older Mark armor, and they look so good. They look so much better than the Plastic Marines, but it's like, okay, I should have waited a little bit longer, but it's all good. But yeah, they're going to look great on the tabletop. So we've got plenty of Tau rumors, of course. The Codex is imminent. Very exciting stuff. So there's rumors floating around on the web, some pictures of what supposedly is the codex of the new Tau Commander. So the new Tau Commander apparently has an upgrade called the Cold Star Battlesuit that turns him into a flying monstrous creature. If he has drones attached to him, they can also fly. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just a couple things to note. Apparently he does not get Vector Strike. He does not get Smash. It doesn't make him a flying monstrous creature truly, but it gives him the ability to fly, which is pretty freaking cool because he comes with BS5 typically and some really powerful guns. I think it could be a really neat way to see the Tau Commander played as a kind of an aggressive unit unto himself instead of what we have now, where he pretty much all he does is buff other guys, which is why we call him the Buff Mander, or he is a marker light platform. It'd be neat to see him actually go out and kick ass on his own.
Well, can you imagine? I mean, he's going 24 inches, and if he can take as much firepower as he used to be able to,
yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it'd be badass. Like he like you give him some melta guns, like all kinds of cool upgrades and signature systems. His drones can be quite powerful. I think it'd be neat to make him actually good instead of just as a force multiplier.
Yeah, no, I think I'm excited. I'm really excited for Tau.
I am too. Like it's sounding really neat. Like really, so much of it is going to come down to marker lights. Like how do marker lights work? That is really going to be the determining factor in so many things with Tau. So a lot remains to be seen. But what we have seen so far looks really cool.
Yeah.
There is images floating around of the new Tau terrain that everyone's excited about, and some of the elements of it look really, really big. Because the price tag is pretty hefty on the set that gives you everything. And it was kind of made me wonder, like, okay, I wonder what comes with this. But looking at some of the elements of the terrain, they're like big. They're like bigger than a Land Raider, I would guess. Just looking at some of the elements of the terrain. So that's neat. I mean, we won't know for certain until we look at it, but it looks like it's going to be a really, really cool set of terrain.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it on the table. Supposedly it like floats, or it's supposed to float like off the table. I don't know. It sounds cool. Yeah,
it'd probably have like a little stand underneath it to make it look like it's hovering, which is really cool. Some of the rumors indicate that some of the pieces of terrain can move, which would be really neat. Also, of course, these terrain pieces would look really, really good on high-tech city fat mat. Have to throw that out there because I know that's what we're going to be painting ours to match.
Yeah.
Some of the other rumors floating around about the new Tau, some of the bundles on GW's website give us kind of an indication, we think, of what formations, or some of the formations we'll see in the new Tau book. And these are bundles that you can buy currently. One of them is the Heavy Retribution Cadre, which is 3 Ghost Kill suits and 2 Storm Surges. And the other one is the Optimized Stealth Cadre, which is a Ghost Kill and 2 units of Stealth suits. So what the rules are, we don't know, but anything that makes stealth suits better, I'm all for it because I really like the models.
Yeah, I think the first one's going to be super good. 3 Ghost Kills and 2 Storm Surges. Sounds like a solid list.
I would think that if GW is capable of writing something intentionally powerful, they will do so because those are all new kits that they want to sell. So, yeah. I would say smart money is that's going to be a powerful formation, but we'll definitely see. And then lastly, on the Tau front, there are images floating around of what look to be new Crisis suits. So people have been asking for these forever, and I can't tell myself, but there's people who are Tau experts that have been pointing things out to me that indicate that these look like they are going to be a new Tau Crisis suit kit. Very cool.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah, we're also hearing that there's going to be more Age of Sigmar in December, and rumors are indicating that it's going to be a Chaos versus Order faction release. And what that means, we don't know, but people are speculating that on the Chaos side, it's going to be Tzeentch, because we've been hearing that over and over. On the Order side, people are speculating that it'll be Elves or Dwarves, which are Dwarden in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, Dwarden. Don't get it wrong. And what are Elves? They're something else, right?
Elves.
Yeah, Elves.
The AE probably is just pronounced Elf, but they spelled it different, so they could trademark it. Whatever, fair enough. I'm excited to see the new models.
Should have called them Alfs.
Alfs?
Yeah. That old show.
They eat cats, yeah. That was always weird that they put that in there. Like, why does he eat cats? It doesn't make him very endearing.
That's how he rolls.
And another wild card rumor, no one knows what this means, but the Chaos Space Marine Codex is currently unavailable on the GW North America website. People are hoping that this means Chaos is going to get a reboot. Please,
I hope so,
and
but
do it right.
I really hope they reboot Chaos, like, because I am a Chaos player at heart. But to be honest, like, if they're doing each Demonkin book, I could easily see GW just phasing out Chaos altogether.
I don't think that I don't think they would do that, because I think what it looks like they're doing with Demonkin is that the Demonkin are focusing on warbands, right? That's why we don't see the World Eaters in the Khorne Demonkin. We don't see Karn the Betrayer, which to me is silly. But what I would guess is that the Chaos Codex, and I'm just guessing, this is pure speculation, is going to focus on the Legions.
That would be sweet.
Right? Because they did the Renegades in the other books, and it was like a fart in an elevator. No one was too into it. But if they focus on the Renegades in the Demonkin books, and then they focus the Chaos Codex, the Chaos Space Marines, on the Legions, now it makes sense. That's where Karn's going to be. That's where Aramon is going to be. I'm just guessing, but to me that makes sense. And then we don't have to waste space in the Chaos Space Marine Codex on generic Renegade Legions, which seriously are interesting, but come on, the cash cow, the thing everybody wants to see is the Legions. That's what we want. Like, 30K proves this.
Yeah, dude, if they build it like the Space Marine Codex, good God, that'd be so amazing.
Just think about that.
So amazing.
Yeah, here's your chapter tactics or your Legion tactics, whatever the hell you want to call it, for Night Lords, for Iron Hands. Yeah, people would gobble that up. People will go crazy for that. Like, GW they're nuts if they don't explore that and give that to their customers, give their customers what they want. People have been screaming for it, right? Like, I really sincerely hope that's what happens, but this is all speculation. We just have to wait and see. Rules Lawyer. Again, where do we get these questions for the Rules Lawyer section? There is a ITC Rules questionnaire submission form that you can go on the ITC tab at frontlinegaming.org, submit your questions there, and then we will answer them on the show. Smith TA asks, can I use my homing beacon the turn my Tetra arrives from reserves? Obviously talking about Tau. In the Tau Codex, it does not say that a unit must be on the board at the start of the turn for a homing beacon to work, so the answer to that is yes, unless I missed something, but I don't believe I did. So yeah, like demons summoning in with a banner or an icon, you can daisy chain those bad boys. WH Hodges asks, how does mixed armor work with grav weapons? This is in the ITC FAQ, so please, before you submit a question, just go check the ITC FAQ first, because it's probably been addressed. Use Control F as the search function, type in the word you're looking for, it usually pops right up. But to answer your question, in a mixed unit, in a mixed armor save unit, like say that there's some guys with a 3-up and some guys with a 4-up, you use the majority armor save. If there is no majority, you use the most beneficial to the defender. And then where do we get that from? We pull it right out of our butt. The book does not give you anything to go on for this, but we use the precedent set by toughness. So if you have a mixed toughness unit, you use the majority toughness. If there is no majority, you use what is most beneficial to the defender. So if you had a guy that's T4, a guy that's T5, you count the unit as T5. If you have one guy with a 2-up, one guy with a 4-up save, for grav weapons, you count it as a 4 because that's more beneficial to the defender. Demon Hunter asks, can you take multiple Knight Cerastus in a Knight detachment? This is also in the ITC FAQ. So again, guys, before you submit a question, please go just do a little bit of checking yourself. It's in the ITC FAQ. The answer to this question is yes, and I'll give you a little background because this is one of the worst worded rules in all of 40K. So the Knight Cerastus, which is the Acheron, the new Achapro, Lancer, Castigator, etc., they say you can take the Knight Cerastus as a Lord of War in allies of the Imperium, armies of the Imperium army, or you can take them in a Knight detachment so long as you don't take more of them than any other type of Knight. So at first you read that and you go, oh, yeah. But then when you start to break down what that actually means, it's the worst. It is like one of the worst worded rules I've ever read, because if you take it literally by raw, you can't take a Knight Cerastus in your detachment unless you take every other Knight, right? Because you can't have more of them than any other type of Knight. Well, if you have one and everything else is 0, you have one more than any other type of Knight. So then it opens up a can of worms. Like, how do you interpret this? Because now there's a ton of different ways to interpret this. So the way we decided to go with it is we don't count 0 as a number. It's the absence of a number, whatever. If you take a Knight Cerastus, you can't take like 2 of the Cerastus Chassis Knights and 1 Knight Paladin. But you could take 2 of the same Knight Cerastus as long as you didn't have any other type of Knight. Or if you had 2 of another type of Knight. It's bonkers. I know, but we're trying to stick to raw on this as much as we can. So don't count 0. And then if you take that out of the equation, you can't take more Cerastus Chassis Knights than any other type of Knight. It makes sense when you do it that way.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre one. Yeah, I know. Anonymous poster asks, can we get rid of the Maelstrom missions? No. You can change it in your when you play ITC missions, but we're not getting rid of it in ITC. I'm sorry.
Get wrecked.
Another anonymous commenter asks, will Chaos Knights be allowed at the LVO? Yes, the ITC poll passed. Chaos Knights are in. All experimental Forge World units are now in. And now this is a huge one. This is huge. I talked to the guys at Forge World. They gave me kind of a wishy-washy answer, but I shouldn't say that. Well, let me preface this. The question is, do Chaos Knights gain the benefit of being a demon of whatever for the faction that they are being used in? For example, if I take a Nurgle-aligned Chaos Knight in a Chaos Demon army, do they get the benefits of being a Nurgle Knight, which would be shrouded, and then also the downside of being slow and purposeful? The answer is yes, they do. That is really, really powerful. So the one that everyone's going to jump to immediately is the Knight of Tzeentch. We'll get to reroll failed and vulnerable save rolls of a 1. Obviously, you put the Grimoire on him, goes beast mode. Yeah.
Ham and cheese.
It's extraordinarily powerful, but he's also extraordinarily expensive. So then if you're like the Knight of Khorne Demonkin, takes the Knight, the Chaos Knight aligned with Khorne, puts him in a Khorne Demonkin army, he would get all the benefits of being a Knight or a Demon of Khorne. And any downsides that may come along with that. So, is that very powerful? Yes. But Forge World said like this is not an official rule until it comes into an FAQ, but this is the way we play it. Which more or less means yes, that is what is intended. So, Chaos, you guys just got thrown a big fat bone, and it's called the Chaos Knights, and they're going to be really powerful.
Yep.
So, some people are going to...
Cool.
I'm sorry, Frankie, go ahead.
So they look cool.
Yeah, I mean, the Nurgle Knight with shrouding all the time. Wow, it's really good. He can't run either, though, which is a kind of a big deal. But the Nurgle Knight is the one that people are going to be looking at and going, holy crap. Because it is conceivable for him to get a 2-up reroll and vulnerable save, which he becomes invincible. But we effectively already have that. Like the Brass Scorpion can already go up 2-up and vulnerable save. You can take a unit of Imperial Knights that can become invisible and get all kinds of crazy crap put on them with a 3-up. You can take a Knight with a 3-up invul save now that can be made invisible, etc., etc. So that Knight becomes a Death Star. I hate Death Stars, but it is what it is. And just as a tip, the first thing you do when you're playing an army that revolves around something like this, you go ask your opponent, which of your guys has the Grimoire? And then you kill that guy first.
Yeah, I mean, it's really powerful, but one turn it could not work. And like you said, you just go after the rest of the army and you just ignore it. Like, yeah. I mean, they can only take one Knight, so.
Yeah, I mean, that Knight is above 500 points. And then if you have Fate Weaver, which you need to make the Grimoire reliable, and then you have another guy to carry the Grimoire, that's like, that's at least 1,000 points of your army, more or less. It's a huge chunk of the army. And then one of the things you do against a Chaos Knight, you just simply have something stand in front of it. Like a unit of scouts just goes, we give our lives for the greater good, and they just stand in front of the Knight, and that Knight is wasting a turn, unable to move. So be prepared for it. It's going to be really powerful. But you know what? Demons don't need any help, but the rest of Chaos, I don't think anybody's going to be too upset that they get something cool. Next question, 1+ Armor asks, does catastrophic damage from a super heavy explosion cause melee or ranged D damage? We treat that as a ranged attack. So you'd use the range D table. And 1+ Armor also asks, will Demonkin be their own ITC faction eventually? Yes, next season we will. Okay, we have some recently completed commissions by our Frontline Gaming Paint Studio. These ones are beautiful. These are master class level. It's the highest paint standard, and we have Fulgrim, which is an amazing model, and Night Haunter, also an amazing model. Check these out. If you want to get your army painted by Frontline Gaming, we have really competitive prices, and we have a huge paint staff that are all ready to go to take your order and to get your army painted at an affordable price in a relatively quick time frame to a very high quality standard. Definitely check us out. List for review. We have a Tau CAD, somewhat bittersweet. This is going to be the last Tau Codex we review, or Tau Army we review for the old book. We got Enva, 12 crew with 1 hound, and they all have sniper rounds. Another unit of 11 crew with 1 hound, all with sniper rifles. 3 units of 4 pathfinders. 2 units of 3 broadsides with all missiles and missile drones. We also have Farsight allies. Farsight, Ovessa, a Riptide with smart missiles, Ion, Feel No Pain, Interceptor, and Earthcast piloted rated reroll gets hot. 3 crisis suits with 2 fusion each, 1 vectored retrothruster, and a bonding knife, and 4 pathfinders all with a bonding knife. I like it. I think you've got a little bit of everything. I like the min-maxed pathfinder units to get you your marker lights. They're really easy to kill. They're not mobile, which is kind of a bummer, but they're relatively cheap, and you have a ton of them. You've got some heavy hitting units with the Riptide. Farsight is solid. You've got the broadsides, and then you've got your crew to go out and grab objectives. Outflanking. You got sniper rounds on them. I like this list. I think it's got a little bit of everything. Plus, you got crisis suits that can deep strike in, and you got the fusion. I think this is a well-rounded Tau list. What do you think, Frankie?
Yeah, I think this will be pretty good. I'm not a big fan of Farsight, but I think you have to take them on this list. Ovessa with the Riptide are also really good. Pathfinders, not a big fan. I like Tetras a lot more. I'll definitely switch them out for Tetras.
Yeah, Tetras are such good marker light platforms. But what a lot of other people do is they take marker lights, a unit of marker lights with a buff banner to give them BS5. And yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah.
The Kroot are awesome. Here's one for you. So I haven't been seeing a lot of Kroot in the Tau pictures that have been released.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to take Kroot out of the codex?
You know what?
If they do you think they'll release their own Kroot codex?
I would be, like, in the short term, Tau players will be up in arms, will be pissed. And then in the long term, it'll be cool because then if it brings us, like, the Crew talks, like, I don't know if you remember the old Kroot army from 3rd edition. Oh, no, of course you don't. You didn't play back then, Frankie. No. But Kroot used to be able to take, like, Kroot cavalry. They had winged Kroot. They had, like, monkey Kroot that, like, lived in the trees and all this crazy stuff. Because in the Kroot fluff, they eat parts of their enemies and they gain their, like, genetic diversity, and then they can evolve themselves into different versions of Kroot. There was whole Kroot armies. It was really, really neat. I would be really stoked to see a Kroot mini dex. I think that'd be really cool, even though in the short term, Tau players would probably be pretty upset.
That would definitely suck for them in the short term, but I think in the long term, people would like it. But yeah, I think my only changes to this list would be take Tetras instead of Pathfinders. Pathfinders can't move and shoot their marker lights, which kind of stinks.
Yeah, I mean, they are cheap, right? They're a cheap marker light platform, but the 5-up armor save, the lack of mobility is a little bit of a bummer. But he's got a lot of marker lights that can shoot a lot of different targets, which is very valuable.
That is very true.
But things like you said, like if you're playing a Tau player and he's got Pathfinders, my #1 target priority is killing those Pathfinders because it's easy and it really reduces the efficacy of the other Tau units.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and jump into the comment section and answer some questions. And let us know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the new Chaos Knights, knowing that Forge World did intend for them to gain the benefits of being a demon of whatever for whatever book they're with? Because by Raw, being a demon aligned with X is meaningless because it's a term that has no definition. But now that they did it to be kind of like a blanket coverall. So no matter what demon kin or whatever book they're put into, they gain the benefits and the weaknesses of being a demon of whatever for that book, which is pretty smart.
Heck yeah. The demon marks are way better than the chaos marks.
Yeah, they are. All right. So we got Tony G gave us a suggestion. Yeah, what we need to do is put up we need to get a rolling calendar for all of the games that we're going to be playing on Tuesday Night Fight. And there's been a little turbulence on the back end, and we've had some issues that have prevented us from doing that. But that's a really good idea, Tony Guy 918. Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, that's smart.
Johnny Rath, Frankie, I promise I won't interrupt you this time. Why don't you take this one away?
My top 3 changes for Dark Eldar. I don't even know. 4-up armor save would be great. More melta shots would be awesome. And I don't know. That's all I got. I really don't know. To be honest, I was thinking about it yesterday, how to fix that codex, and I literally cannot think about it, or I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to, if it was up to me, like we were talking about last time before we got in a little married couple bickering match, which was my fault, and I'm sorry about that. I would love to see it if they had like options for like bikes and like the Hellion skyboard for characters to mix it up. You know what I mean? Like an Archon on a bike with some really cool gear, like with a 2-up with a Shadow Field and like a Huskblade. That guy could be pretty badass. Put Vect back in the flipping codex. Are you kidding me? Like he's their flagship character, and like make their HQs a little bit more powerful. Give them some options to do things. Maybe not to be more powerful by themselves, but make the succubus like, oh, if the succubus is with a unit of witches, they can reroll failed invul saves in combat. Oh wow! Now witches become a premier tar pit unit. You know, like give them the ability to like reroll to hit rolls with some of their units, or to be able to give grenades to some of the units like Incubi. Like Incubi can be really scary if they had some ability to get buffed up, but they don't. Because I think GW was like, oh, it's the power from pain buffs them up. No, it really doesn't. Feel no pain on a toughness 3 model it's like tits on a bowl. It doesn't serve any purpose half the time, you know? Not that great.
Yeah, I mean, they could use a lot of help. I dig the idea of having like a close combat character. It would be really cool. Give Haywire back to witches would be nice.
Yep. Just give witches Haywire grenades.
Yeah.
Right? Just give it to, or give them all rending. They still would just be mediocre. Like give them, have their dodge save. Just give them a 4-up invulnerable save all the time. They're super quick, you know. Like I don't think if you gave them a 4-up invul save all the time and rending, they'd be playable. Now that's a scary unit, because if you think about it, people are probably out there rolling their eyes. But if you think about it, a Demonette has a 5-up invul save all the time and rending, and I think they're less points too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's not asking that much, right? Like that's not that crazy of a unit. And Demonettes get a bonus to run, and they're faster, you know. Select their combat drugs instead of rolling for it. Verminard, I totally agree. Let the witch cult units just go. Oh my!
0 charisma.
Choose it. Go ahead.
0 charisma. He says, any tips for caring for your paintbrushes, or what brushes are actually good? He just got the newest GW ones, and they seem like garbage.
Well, some of the GW brushes are really good. Like the old Masterclass paintbrush set they had. I use those brushes all the time. Those are some of my favorite brushes. But if you can find them, you want sable hair brushes. But some of the tree-hugging hippies out there making that hard to find them anymore. Even though that they sustainably harvest the hair from the sable in many cases. That's okay. And I'm kidding. I am actually for animal rights and stuff like that. So I was just teasing about that. But if you can get your hands on sable hair brushes, those are the best, period. And they're real natural hair. You actually wash them with shampoo. You put conditioner in them. I know it sounds funny, but they're real hair, and they respond to that. But the main thing to do with your brushes to make them to last is clean the shit out of them. Clean them. Like clean them constantly when you're using them. And you really want, some of my brushes are like $30, $40 for a brush. And it is worthwhile. Like I have one of my favorite brush. I've had it since I was in high school. I'm 34. So do the math. If you take care of it, it's an investment that will yield dividends. So take care of your brushes, clean them, keep a brush cover on them. I keep my best brushes in a case. Take care of them, and then they will serve you well. But the main thing is that if you get paint particulates that dry at where the bristles meet the base of the brush, it'll cause it to splay out, and then it's dead. It's a dead brush at that point. So.
Yeah. Panzer Panda 99. If Demonkin is getting
its own faction.
sub-faction in the ITC. Yeah. Then what about other sub-factions? Any chance for a Militarum Tempestus?
Well, Panzer Panda, that's a fair question. I don't think Demonkin is really a sub-faction. They have a full-fledged codex. And I think what we may do at first is to have a Demonkin faction, and it'll cover all of them, all the different flavors. Whereas, like, Militarum Tempestus is, like, that really is, like, that is, like, a mini codex. Like, there's only, like, 3 or 4 different units in it. And the main issue for us is the expense. We spent over $1,000 just on trophies for the ITC, for the LVO. It gets really expensive. And it also makes it hard for other GTs that use the ITC format to do a best of for like 20 different factions. Like, that can get very pricey. Because some players, like, if you just hand them a certificate and you're like, you're the best of this, which is cool, and you can hang it on your wall, and for some people that's good, but some people actually get really shitty about it, and they're like, this is all I get? Well, yeah, man, you're the best Militarum Tempestus player. You're also the only one here. And it's not to undermine the accomplishment, and I know it's really cool to compete for that. And as the ITC grows and we have more resources, we can definitely do that. It's just, it's tough because there's new factions popping up left and right? Especially when you bring Forge World into the mix. Like, do we recognize Death Corps of Krieg or Elysian Drop Troops or Eldor Corsair? I mean, Harlequins. And then even in the ITC, which at this point is like 1,600 participants, you could have 5 people playing Harlequins, So it's like, does it justify the investment? We want to include everybody because it's fun to compete for these things, and it encourages diversity because if you can be the best Militarum Tempestus player, more people will try to play that army. It's tough, it's just a question of balancing resource management and making it as inclusive as possible. What do you think, Frankie?
I think in the future, probably not next year. I think it's baby steps, but going forward, I mean, we really want this to grow and turn into like a worldwide tournament circuit, to where like every tournament you go to is getting you these points, cool prizes, all this other stuff. I mean, last year we gave away quite a bit of prize support to the ITC, and we're hoping to grow that. So I think going forward in the future, definitely we'll have more and more sub-factions. But like Reese was saying, it is really expensive to give prizes to all these people, and the more sub-factions you have, the more prizes you have to get out, and you have to make all these people happy. So.
Yeah, because we don't want to make it a burden on TOs to do the ITC format, So, we answered the question. I don't need to rehash anything. The Cow King asks, is there still room in the Night Joust TLVO? Yes, there is. It's up to like 45 players or something. It's going to be so cool, man. The Night Joust, like, if it is persistently popular, we could come up with some really fun stuff to make the Night Joust a really, really cool event. So yes, and then will there be FLG swag for sale at the LVO? Yes, there will be. Captain Lysander asks, have you guys gotten any more info on when Forge World will eventually allow Forge World Space Marine characters to be allowed in the 7th Ed Space Marine Codex? They're already allowed in the Codex. They're just, I think what you're asking is, are they allowed into the formations? They're not yet, because the formations specify which characters can go into them. Hopefully Forge World does allow that, because it'd be really neat to see battle companies and demi companies with some of the really cool Forge World characters, like my man, Lias Isidon, he's the G, or some of the other really fun characters. But then, of course, the next off in the Conclave, the Librarians Conclave is the breeding ground from which Death Stars are born, which I don't care for personally, although I know a lot of people like them. And the Conclave would be pretty gnarly. I guess the only thing you counter that is that you couldn't take him and Tigerius, which I guess is the one benefit to that. What do you think, Frankie?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Loth in a Conclave is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's gnarly, man. Like, it would be very powerful, and I understand why people want to use it. And Loth is a very cool character, a beautiful miniature as well. But I am not sad that he's not able to be taken in the Conclave at this point in time.
No.
Gatling Goon. That's a funny name. I like that. Do we have any Harlequin players locally to invite for Battle Report? We actually do have a Harlequin player at our local game store, Game Empire, here in San Diego, which is a great store. Check it out. I played him with my Space Wolves. Really cool dude. I don't know if he'd want to come on to the. He's a very casual player. I don't know if he'd want to come on the stream, but we can certainly ask him.
Yeah. Day 1916. Can you take a Sentinels of Terra Libby conclave and a Vanilla Marines conclave in the ITC?
Can you take two Liberius conclave formations?
Conclave.
Yeah, you can.
Why do you take the Sentinels of Terra?
Because they can get, there's the Bones of Ozark
Gotcha.
relic that's really good for librarians. I think 10 librarians is a bit overkill. Maybe not, but
you don't have to max them out. You take like 3, I think.
That's a good point. I can't help but roll my eyes just like. Let's see.
DKO Xylophone. What would you do to make the Orc Codex more competitive?
I'll field that one. I love my orcs. So for me, there's a couple things I would do. I would let orcs get number one. I'd let them get invulnerable saves in close combat. Like absolutely 100%. That is the one thing that keeps them from being able to compete. Because you go up against like a wolf, not even a wolf star, just normal thunder wolves. They have storm shields. They will annihilate. They will kill your whole army. Like you just beat the crap out of you. Even if you could just get a 5++, or if the custom force field worked on orcs in close combat, I'd be happy with that. Because you just can't compete. Like orcs are supposed to win the game in melee, and they can't. That right there is number one. I would change the mob rule to make it less punishing for orcs. I would let the orcs have a rule where it was like you could either take 4+ armor on your knobs, or there was a rule where it was like orcs could somehow avoid a challenge. Like they could the knob could throw a boy into the challenge for him, because units of boys live or die by their knob. If the knob dies, they die, and they can't do anything. Like the knob does everything. He keeps them from running away. He keeps them from killing themselves. He does all the damage in combat. You need to be able to preserve the knob in the unit. I think those 3 things would be all orcs needed to really go up a whole tier in power. And there's some other wish list stuff I'd like to see, like a Decurion style detachment. And then one last thing, definitely make the Gorkanaut a super heavy walker. Those changes would make orcs so much more competitive. What do you think, Fred? What would you think from playing against them, buddy?
I think their main thing is just invo save. If they had an invo save or a way to get a really good invo save, I think they'd be top tier easy. But right now they're just too dependent on cover saves, and there's a lot of things in the game that ignore cover, so it really hurts them, especially with their low armor.
Yeah, totally. And then their low leadership. It's a cascading negative effect. It's like with Chaos, with the having to challenge, not having morale control, having to take the Aspiring Champion. It creates a cascading negative effect that just cripples their units.
Yeah.
Okay.
The real Luff GT Huron. Speaking of LVO, can I switch my tournament ticket to the narrative? Unfortunately, you cannot at this point. I mean, you could trade with somebody if somebody wants to trade, but we are currently sold out on the narrative. So.
Yeah, like Frankie said, you could trade, but both events are sold out, so we can't do that. Captain Lysander says, how do you submit a list for review? You send that to frontlinegamingmariana@gmail.com. And it's on the Contact Us tab at frontlinegaming.org.
Sweet.
Novastar says, a knob who declined a challenge wouldn't be a knob for long. You know what, Novastar, in the fluff, that does kind of make sense, but also orcs are very cunning. Don't forget. They're mean and cunning and mean. A knob, I like to imagine that a knob who sees a fight he's probably not going to win would say hey, lad, gobsmack, it's your chance to be a hero. Yeah, go get him. And then he goes and kills all the chaff. He's like, look at me, boys, I'm killing everybody else. I agree that fluff-wise maybe it doesn't make the most sense, but hey, having your knob take a challenge, die, and then the whole unit get run down is not very fun.
Yeah. No.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to get in your pre-orders for the Ghost Kill. 25% off at orders@frontlinegaming.org. Frankie, looking forward to having you back on Monday. Enjoy yourself at the wedding. And everyone in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all of those who watch us on YouTube and listen on the podcast.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.